Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I am bringing you my chapter 1150 review of One Piece Tommy Reversi. And as always, as is tradition, I am well behind schedule. I am well behind. This was released 2 weeks ago, so let's dive on in before I get any later. So as always, one of my favourite bits about the One Piece manga is that they always have a lovely little cover image, and this time we're carrying on Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest. And we must be getting to the conclusion of this. I just want to move on to a different side story. It's been a great side story, but I'd love to get something new. But Yamato is dropping off the sword. It turns out, maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I should have realized, but it's Yasui's sword. And they're dropping off at Enma Shrine in Hakuma. So that's cool. Just paying respects to Yasui, who was very crucial in, the Straw Hat Alliance, whatever you want to call it, victory in the Wano arc. And I guess Ulti and Page One are now Yamato's followers. I wonder if she's going to end up building a sort of dynamic that Odin had, where she kind of just gets followers over time, just like Odin did, without even trying. Maybe, live up to her kind of ideal of being Odin. So we get a group of giants here reacting to the fact that the children are safe, but how Gaban has fallen into the underworld, and there's a massive panic. The children are happy to see their parents, and they also react to Imu Gunko, obviously floating bat wings or demon wings, whatever. And one of these giants is going to make the same mistake several others have made. He goes to grab the children and gets fawned. And at this point, Imu Gunko just sort of unleashes a powerful blast of Conqueror's Haki and knocks all the giants and the children out, pretty much. It's an insane flex, I guess. Imu, I don't know how much of Imu's power comes out while they're possessing Gunko, but it's still powerful enough to do that. Anyway, so we get to see the expected resistors of the Conqueror's Haki that Imu Gunko sort of blasted off. So, you've got the likes of Jory and Brogy and, Jarul, and then a bunch of unnamed giants. But, there's a handful left willing to continue the charge and fight back. And to counter them, Imu Gunko just has a pentagram thing here and just summons a cannon. An insane cannon, just fires it off and just causes devastation. And then we just get this amazing, full shot of Imu Gunko, with her demonic wings and saying, "All resistance must..." I can't do the whole echoey thing they do for the anime, but all resistance must be quashed. Is this the best vice Sleeptids can do, Killingham? And then Killingham's just like, "No, I can do more. Don't worry, your greatness." And we get a more demonstration of Killingham's power, where what does he say here? It's the nightmare holes. So this is how his nightmare thing works. Nightmare holes remain open, which is continually spawning nightmare creatures, and they don't know death and can be recreated at any point by Killingham's power. So, yeah, pretty powerful devil fruit. Sorry, just to shut my curtain a bit. The sun was glaring horribly. I was going to get the window open when I'm done recording here, because it is getting stuffy in here. Anyway, we carry on, and the Straw Hats have realised that Somers has survived Gaban's brutal attacks, and they're also bemoaning the fact that their strongest crew members, the Monster Trio, are all stuck in the underworld, which leaves them in a particular pickle. Robin, to her credit, tries to break free, but all she's doing is really just harming herself. So then we see that the Holy Knights and Imu Gunko are now discussing what they should do and who they should parley with, using the children as bait. Somers agreeing that, the Kingdom of Elbaf not having a king does not make sense. and also complaining about, his body being in agony because of Gaban. Good job, Gaban. And Imugunko declares that Dori and Brogy should become kings of Elbaf. And obviously they are not on board with this, and we see that always get them mixed up. It's Brogy. Brogy grabs Imugunko, and is, I guess, going to try and squeeze her to death. But it doesn't look like Brogy is going to immediately crush Imugunko and is making demands of her to give back the children, tell them their numbers. But Imugunko is unfazed and summons a weird-looking book and seems to issue a command to Brogy that he will meet with Jirul, cut his head off and hold it aloft, and then announce the people that we are kings of Elbaf, and starts summoning something from the book. So Brogy's obviously furious that Imugunko is trying to tell him what to do. But what she summons from the book is a shotgun and a dagger or a sword or whatever, and she just blasts Brogy's hand off. And ominously here she says, "I give thee the power of evil." Now that is definitely ominous for what's coming, but I don't know if this means that's how. I might have to discuss it later, but this is how her power works, the book, and I don't even know, because her devil fruit's probably that monstrous form she's got, so she's got these other abilities that are nothing to do with devil fruits. She can just summon these weapons and, I guess, pass on the power of evil by inflicting damage to people, maybe? So Brogy is clearly in a lot of pain here. They say, "I don't believe it, she took off his mighty arm." I don't know if that means it's his dominant arm, or it's just like, wow, she's blasted off his arm, but he's disarmed. And interestingly, she then summons a pentagram sort of thing. And I don't know if this is tied to like the immortality that the elders have, but she says, "In exchange for some measure of thy lifespan, thou wilt receive an undying body and uncanny strength. Under fealty to Mu, thou art unbound by common sense and logic. Demons are the only proper form for life to take." So it looks, by what she's saying, that the whole common sense and logic thing, so enslavement, basically. Horrible enslavement, and giving him some sort of demonic transformation. And we see at the bottom, she even calls it diabolic covenant, and a pentagram appears beneath Brogy. But then we see Brogy is sinking into the pentagram, and we get the manga title, as Imugunko says, "Domi Reversi." And it's weird because Brogy sort of gets rotated. It doesn't just sink him down, he gets rotated around and he gets sunk down head first. The last we see of Brogy is his legs sticking out of the ground, and then out emerges a demonic Brogy, sharp teeth, glowing eyes. But we see the rest of Brogy's appearance here, and even his severed arm appears to be reattaching by the looks of it. And he's got this new, like, massive axe. Oh, God, I need a drink of water or something. He's got, like, demonic wings like Imugunko. He's got horns. He's much bigger than his already giant frame. And he immediately already starts attacking the giants. He's not acting like himself. And we see in the bottom here, he's not even talking like himself. He's laughing, like he's doing his same laugh still, but he's acting in, he, as you see here, "I feel all powerful, nothing can stop me now." And they say even that she's got Captain Dory too. But we see Dory's whole demonic appearance as well now. He's got the same, like fangs, horns, demonic wings, change of personality. He's also got a cool like pitchfork weapon here, and we see them standing side by side, looking really cool, much to the shock and horror of their former friends and crew members. But they don't have to worry for long, because as we see, they are also sucked into the pentagrams or whatever and transformed into demon giant things themselves. And everything is going to hell, I guess. We get this cool overarching shot of what I guess is essentially Immu Gunko's like army in Elbaf now, with these demonic giants and all these nightmare creatures in the background, while all the giants who have retained their senses are trying now to flee. Immu Gunko declaring that Elbaf will not be destroyed, but preserved and ruled over. And we just see all this chaos. Perhaps it is time to stay and watch to see how useful they will be in war. The giants urge Jerul to flee, but Jerul stands his ground, and the chapter ends. It's all chaotic, it's all crazy, it's amazing. It just makes me wonder what the extent of Immu Gunko's, like, let's say Immu. What is Immu's arsenal of weaponry? What other stupidly magic books or whatever do they have at their disposal? You know, they've got the devil fruit power that I guess they probably can't use while possessing Gunko, but Immu is a menace. It's insane what they can do. And we haven't found out everything about them either. So there's so much more to discover. And how is this battle going to go down? How? Because Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji are obviously, and probably Loki as well, are eventually going to go and confront these people. And like, this is crazy. Like, how much? Who can Immu possess with that like Domi Reversi ability? Like, do you have to be a conqueror to sort of resist it? Will it affect the Straw Hats? I mean, only Luffy and Zoro are conquerors, right? It's like, that's a lot. That could be very distressing for like the Straw Hats if, you know, they start getting flipped around and become demons. Oh, but we will see how this progresses in the next chapter. And as always, thank you for watching. I appreciate all, you know, the views, the comments. I'm a small-time creator. You know, I may only get a handful of views, but I do like seeing them. So I will see you for the next one. Bye now.